Hey there, it's Amanda with the Pretty House team and obviously with Palm Harbor Coastal Living. I am coming to you today because the latest April stats are out for Palm Harbor and for Pinellas County real estate. And there'll be probably a couple of other people that do market updates, but they'll probably do the whole county, which is great because it makes things look amazing for us. Because the latest market numbers for the county are really, really strong. In April, we had the continued trend of the higher median prices. We also had the faster median days on market. So that's really, really great. The most notable difference, though, for the county is that for the first time since January of 2018, we're actually seeing more new listings come to market, and that's for the county. So if you see some reports going around about how there's a ton of new listings on the market, or the market's up, or buyers have more options now, that's all true if you're shopping in all of Pinellas County. Now, a lot of times the numbers can be different for our area because of the school districts that the families try to buy in, or because people have preferences of Safety Harbor versus Palm Harbor versus Dunedin. So it really does matter when you're looking at the latest market numbers. And we're also seeing some changes in how the contracts are going through. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly. I'm going to try to break it down for you as easy as possible because I get confused and I don't really appreciate math, I think, the way some people do. So I'm just going to try to be kind of cool with it. I can see that a bunch of you guys are on right now. If you can't hear me, let me know. Just give me thumbs up, thumbs down, what have you, and I'll tweak the audio. So in Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor, and Dunedin, if we are comparing March and April of 2017 to March and April of 2018, our listings are down. So in 2017, in those 2 months, we had 482 new listings come to market. And in 2018, for March and April, we had 435. So if you're just looking at those three predominant areas where people kind of look, Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor, Dunedin, we're down about 10%. So what does that mean? I mean, what does that mean to us as homeowners? What does that mean to us that are trying to think about whether we should capitalize on the equity in our homes? Can we get to that Gulf view that we've wanted for so many years? So in regards to that, if we have a bubble, the only way to change the quote unquote bubble is for the inventory to increase. If inventory continues to stay down, then the choices stay down. And when the choices stay down and the buyers aren't finding their spot, then there's still more buyers than there are options. So that's kind of how the bubble happens and how it continues. So we really need more listings to come to market. But I don't really have any control over that. I mean, I don't know if people listen to me enough to be like, oh yeah, let's call her and list with her. But what I'd like to talk about right now is homeowners who are currently on the market. And what I'm seeing, it's pretty significant to me. And I've talked to a couple of colleagues and it's happening across the board. So when you list your home, I know that you want to take advantage of the equity that you've got in it and the fact that it is a seller's market and that you can make more than you could have made a year ago. But you really have to be realistic because now we're seeing the ugly side of taking advantage of the market, and that is appraisals. So unless you have a cash buyer who just doesn't care what they pay for your house, you're going to need to get an appraisal. And the property is going to need to appraise. If it doesn't, your buyer can terminate and they can get their earnest money back and they can walk away. Unless for some reason in the pre-approval letter, the buyer didn't put in their satisfactory appraisal. And that's very rare that a mortgage lender won't slip that in there for them. So when that happens, you've been off the market for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get through an appraisal, and now it's come in low. What are your options as a homeowner? So you can either reduce to the appraised value, you can meet in the middle and ask the buyer to pay out of pocket above and beyond an appraisal to keep the property moving forward to contract and close, or you can terminate and then go back on the market. Now, if you terminate and you go back on the market, you've already had an appraisal the if the next buyer wants to know why the house fell apart, you don't want to say inspections because that's not the truth. You have to say appraisal. And what buyer wants to try to move forward on a property that already came in low? So that's something that you have to think about. I know we all want to make a ton of money on our houses right now. Trust me, my husband and I have this conversation almost weekly. Like, should we sell? Everybody's making so much money on their houses. But if the appraisal doesn't come in, you're going to have a problem. And I have to say that I've been having a lot of debates with some realtors about comps, because you can't just assume that the appraiser is going to find the comp for you. If you've got 4 comps in your neighborhood, and when I say comps, I'm sorry, when I say comps, I mean comparable home sales. If there are houses selling in your neighborhood and you can't justify your contract price, just go ahead and assume it's not going to appraise, because the appraiser is not there to ruin your party and burn your contract to the ground, but he does have to be truthful. He can't go outside of the neighborhood if you've got comparable homes inside of your neighborhood. Now let's talk about comparable homes, because everybody goes crazy on this, and trust me, what I'm about to say is upsetting to me as well. Just because you did amazing granite in your kitchen doesn't mean the appraiser is going to give you $10,000 for it. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for joining. So just because you're doing that doesn't mean you're going to get a $10,000 upgrade on your kitchen. Just because you spent $40,000 or $50,000 on your pool does not mean he's going to give you $40,000 on your pool and the appraisal. He might give you 10. So we all want beautiful houses. We spent a ton of money on this floor. I blew out walls in my house, but I knew when I did that I was going to get a little bit of a bump, but I'm not going to see my money back. So just keep that in mind when you go under contract. If your realtor is telling you not to worry about the appraisal, ask her to see comps, because you want to make sure before you accept an offer that a buyer is willing to give you that you're going to be able to get it to close. The worst thing you can do is accept an offer, go through an inspection, have the buyer spend money on that, have the buyer spend money on the appraisal, it come in low, and now what? You've been off the market 8 weeks? How many buyers have you missed when it was unrealistic for you to get the price that you were commanding? Now, the difference is if you have a cash buyer, whoop-de-doo, awesome for you, move to closing. Hopefully they won't do an appraisal. But in this market, most buyers are getting a mortgage, and most people will not pay more than the appraised value of the home. I mean, would you, honestly, if you were buying your dream house even, and it came in $10,000 short, are you going to come out $10,000 out of pocket when an unbiased party just told you it's not worth that? And I know appraisers get a bad rap because we all want them to just make the numbers work, but they can only work with the comps that they have. So let's be realistic. I would really hope that realtors are educating the homeowners before you list that price what it's going to appraise for. We can't be exact, but we can give a pretty close range. If you're within $5,000 of your appraised value, I think you can get it there. But if you're $10,000, $15,000 outside of the comparable home sales, you're never going to get that contract to close. So as people start taking advantage of the market, as people start taking advantage of less listings, as homeowners start getting ready and coming to market, when you go to interview whoever you choose, make sure before they come in with their flashy listing presentation that they also come in with comps to justify the list price. Because no matter what your Zestimate says, no matter how high somebody says you can go, at the end of the day, if the property doesn't appraise, you're back to square one. That's the worst feeling in the world. Back to keeping your house clean all the time, back to dealing with annoying realtors, not being able to figure out the lockbox, setting the alarm off on your house. These are things that are just annoying and you don't want to have to do it. So price your home right if you're coming to market now, because we are seeing a significant amount of houses not appraising. And I'm not talking like 1 a month. I'm talking like 2 last week. 2 last week. That's big. That's not normal. Lenders are saying they're seeing 50% of properties not appraising. It's my job as a realtor to show you what it will appraise for, but it's your job to trust me. And if you don't want to take what the comps are looking at and what your home is valued at, then don't come to market, because you're going to be sitting on the market for 120 days. Your agent's going to have to put buyer's financing fell through. We all know what that means. We all know what that means. Most of the time, it means property didn't appraise and nobody wants to pay more. And don't even get me started on, please, let's just appeal the appraisal. I've been doing this for 14 years. And in 14 years, I've had 1 appraisal be reversed and the market value go up. 1 in 14 years. And what I do, 30 some odd closings a year. So 30 closings a year, and in 14 years, I've had 1 value go up. That's not good. That's not a good track record. So just everybody take a breath. It's going to be a great day. I just wanted to share with you the information that for Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor, and Dunedin, our listings are down about 10%, which means the bubble will continue. Homeowners, if you're thinking it's time to cash out on the equity, you're brilliant. It is. I know the fear of, but there's no place to go. Trust me, there are places to go. Especially if you have a little bit of an eye and can look past wallpaper and ugly paint, you can still get a house that's priced right. There are a few left in the market. So have a great day. If you have any information or any questions about statistics I just threw at you, because I know I'm super, super fast because I'm almost late for a listing, feel free to email me or just comment on this live and I'll send you the statistics. I can also send you what the comps are going for in your neighborhood, because look, I want you to be educated. Even if you don't use me, I want you to know what you're getting into. It's crazy out there right now, y'all. Like crazy, crazy. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.